Good Morning America, going forth. Americans taking to the skies and the roads in record numbers. The peak holiday travel times and the best way to avoid the crowds and save time and money. Plus the forecast that could dampen your travel plans. 75 million Americans from the mid-Atlantic to the Northeast bracing for severe storms. Our weather team timing it all out.
Debate fallout one day after going head-to-head, President Biden looking to reassure supporters.
When you get knocked down, you get back up.
Donald Trump seizing the moment.
Joe Biden's policies are causing America's decline at a level that we've never seen before.
The new polling on whether the debate changed any minds.
Barbecue breakdown. What it can cost you this year to host that holiday party, from burgers and buns to the standard sides. How to score supermarket savings.
Plus, the new Kings of the Court, ESPN's Malika Andrews on the #1 NBA draft pick, and Bronny James playing with his dad.
Remembering Martin Mull.
I guess we could afford health insurance in about 2 years. Gosh, I hope you can hold it in till then.
The veteran character actor making us laugh through decades of memorable roles.
Thank you very much.
I'm on top of the world, I'm on top of the world,
And new arrivals. The first panda bears in more than 20 years arriving in America. My journey to China to understand these gentle creatures who will now be calling this place home.
Live from ABC News in New York, this is Good Morning America.
And we do say Good Morning America, and look who's back from China.
All the way.
I was waiting for you to come in here with that panda suit.
Oh, you know what, Gio, you're funny. No, it was an incredible experience. I don't even know what to say, but I'm so glad to be back on American soil, even if it's been less than 24 hours.
And we're still on Panda Watch this
Still
morning.
on Panda Watch.
One more day of reports. Looking forward to it.
So we will talk about the pandas very soon, but we've got a lot going on this morning, including another shark attack in the waters off Florida, this time on the state's Atlantic coast. A boater injured. We're going to have the latest in a moment here.
And we are also hearing from the candidates after their debate. President Biden acknowledging his weak performance, but touting his other strengths. Donald Trump looking to capitalize on his winning moments. We'll have the latest on the campaign just ahead.
Yep, we'll get there, but we begin with the July 4th travel picture as millions of Americans prepare for a long summer weekend getaway. So let's start with ABC's Phil Lipoff, who is there at Newark Liberty Airport, where I was just a few hours ago. Good morning to you, Phil.
I was going to say you're familiar with the lines behind me. Welcome back to the USA, Janae. Take a look behind me. This is a busy Newark airport. We're talking about hundreds of people right now behind me. It is busier than usual. The TSA expecting yesterday, Friday, to be the busiest day ever, not just of the year, ever. They expect to screen between Thursday the 27th and July 8th, 32 million people. So it is going to be busy. It's a little stressful to travel, but the airlines say here are a couple things you can do to make it a little bit easier for you. American Airlines recommends arriving 2 hours early around this time for your flight. Reserve parking at the airport ahead of time and travel with a carry-on if you can instead of checked bags to save some time. You can also save some money. American Airlines predicts its busiest July 4th ever, up 8% from last year. Delta says it expects nearly 6 million customers through next week. That's an increase of 6% from 2023. And if you are driving, there are going to be a ton of people on the roads as well. More than 60 million Americans forecast to travel by car. The worst time to travel between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. The best time is generally early before 10 a.m. And overall, drivers will be paying a little bit less for gas this year. The national average for a gallon of gas is about $3.50. That's roughly 5 cents less from this time last year. But listen to this. California is still the highest price per gallon in the country. That's $4.80 right now. And all of these numbers are up from last year. They're up from last year. They are way up from pre-pandemic levels. And Gio, you're the transportation correspondent. You always tell me to pack my patience. I just can never find them when I go to pack.
Oh, boy, Phil. Well, you
That's
better find
problem.
it. You better find it, because this is a record-breaking travel season. Thank you so much for that report here. And the weather could be an issue for lots of people planning to start those getaways. So let's get a look from Samara now. Hey, Samara, good morning.
Good morning, Gio. Yeah, storms rolling into the East Coast. They've already hit Jacksonville, Florida. Look at this. National Weather Service confirming that this was a tornado that materialized, picked up a car, moved it across the street. So be careful out there on the road, because there is a tornado threat this weekend. So here we are, 4 p.m. Saturday, I-80 PA, Pittsburgh into western New York. That kind of sweeps through the I-95 corridor overnight. Then a secondary line hits on Sunday. Now, Phil said the worst time to travel on the roads is 2 to 8. Well, I'm going to hone that in for those living along the I-95 corridor. 3 to 6, that's going to be very difficult as we'll see very heavy rain and damaging winds on Sunday. Saturday, in places like Pennsylvania, New York, and Ohio, we could see a few tornadoes and flash flooding. Whit?
Okay, we'll stay on top of that. Tomorrow, we'll talk in a bit. Thank you. Now to the latest shark attack. A boater recovering this morning after being bitten off of Florida's Atlantic coast. The 4th shark attack in Florida just this month. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the latest. Morgan, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you. Yes, shark attacks are extremely rare, but when they do happen, it typically involves a swimmer wading out in the ocean. Well, in this case, it was a boater who was fishing, and this morning he is recovering from some pretty serious injuries.
This morning, a Florida boater is recovering in the hospital after a shark latched onto his arm during a fishing trip on the Atlantic Ocean near Jacksonville. The boater managing to flag down Water Patrol.
When they got to the boat, there was a adult male in there that had a severe shark bite to his forearm here. Lost a lot of blood. He was bleeding pretty bad.
A deputy seen here applying this tourniquet. The man then flown to a nearby hospital. His injuries non-life-threatening.
The deputy was a hero when he arrived to make sure he took care of the situation.
Friday's incident marks the 4th person attacked in Florida just this month alone and comes as other states have reported sightings and dangerous encounters. 14-year-old Blaine Brown speaking out earlier this week about the moment he was bitten by a shark off of North Carolina's coast.
I think a wave hit us, and a few seconds later, it just bit me. I just got lucky there so many people were around.
Meanwhile, in Hawaii, loved ones remembering surfer and actor Tamayo Perry, killed by a shark in the waters off Oahu.
And last year, Florida had the most unprovoked shark attacks in the country. With that said, the best way to reduce the risk, again, this is extremely rare, but the best way to reduce the risk, of course, swim in groups, don't swim near piers, and stay near lifeguards. Janae?
A reminder that those beautiful beaches like the one you're at can have some dangers to keep an eye out for. Thank you, Morgan. Now to the race for the White House and the shockwaves. After the first presidential debate of 2024, Democrats rallying behind President Biden, even as his campaign admits he had a bad night. ABC White House correspondent MaryAlice Parks joins us now here in studio with the latest. Good morning, MaryAlice.
Yeah, Janae, good morning. President Biden had a fundraiser overnight insisting that he can still do this job, can still get things done, trying to calm talks by other Democrats that someone should convince him to step aside.
President Biden overnight looking to reassure supporters who were shocked after his poor debate performance.
Folks, I give you my word as a Biden, I would not be running again if I didn't believe with all my heart and soul I can do this job. Because quite frankly, the stakes are too high.
In a new move acknowledging he has aged, but saying he still has fight left in him.
I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. And I know, like millions of Americans know, when you get knocked down, you get back up.
Biden's debate performance, a political earthquake, sending panicked shockwaves throughout the Democratic Party. The president struggling to answer even on topics like abortion, central to his campaign.
Look, there's so many young women who have been, including a young woman who just was murdered, and he went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming into.
The New York Times editorial board calling for him to step aside. Biden struggled to hold Mr. Trump accountable for his lies, his failures, and his chilling plans. More than once, he struggled to make it to the end of a sentence. The Biden campaign brushing off the op-ed, insisting they can still win.
This race will not be decided by one night in June.
But behind the scenes, some in the party raising questions about whether Biden should be replaced at the top of the ticket and who might be able to convince him to step aside. Top Democrats publicly swatting that talk down, defending him.
I will never turn my back on President Biden.
Stepped down after the debate performance last night. Should he step aside?
Former President Donald Trump campaigning in Virginia, taking a victory lap.
He studied so hard that he didn't know what the hell he was doing.
Now, Hillary Clinton, President Obama also both out with statements yesterday supporting Biden. Obama writing, bad debates happen, trust me. But he went on to describe this election, guys, as still a choice between someone who he said tells the truth and someone that Obama described as lying through his teeth all the time for his own benefit.
But as so many pointing out, President Biden didn't do much to poke holes in that. And MaryAlice, there's a new 538 Ipsos poll out this morning. What does it say about whether the debate changed any minds?
Yeah, this was interesting. Voters overwhelmingly thought that Trump won the debate, that Biden had a really dismal performance, but it didn't seem like it moved a lot of votes. Biden only lost about 1.6 percentage points of potential voters. Trump barely got a bump up. It does look like independent candidate RFK Jr. gained about a percentage point. So interesting there.
Interesting, because he wasn't even in that debate. All right, MaryAlice, thank you so much. We're going to turn now to the Supreme Court, making news. The justices handing down a decision that could upend hundreds of January 6 prosecutions, and it could also help former President Trump's defense in his federal election interference case. ABC's Em Nguyen joins us now from the Supreme Court. Good morning, Em.
Good morning, Gio. Yeah, in this consequential 6-3 decision, justices ruled that federal prosecutors overstepped when charging a former Pennsylvania police officer, Joseph Fisher, of obstruction for storming the U.S. Capitol on January 6. Now, the High Court also ruled that the Justice Department needed to prove a connection to the destruction of records and documents, not just the blocking of a proceeding. That decision could impact hundreds of other charges against pro-Trump writers who physically tried to stop Congress from certifying the 2020 election results. Prosecutors may even consider reopening some of those cases. And in a significant case on homelessness, the High Court sided with an Oregon town's law that bans people from sleeping outdoors. That decision may have broad implications for how homelessness is dealt with across the country. Justices also denied ex-Trump advisor Steve Bannon's request to remain out of jail while he appeals his case. He's accused of defying a subpoena amid a congressional January 6 investigation. Bannon is set to report to jail on Monday. That as we await the release of other opinions for the remainder of this term on Monday. That is what we are expecting at this point. There is still that big one, whether or not a former president has absolute immunity from criminal prosecution for those official acts taken while in office. Whit.
And that will be a consequential decision on Monday. Em Nguyen, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Now to Iowa. The state Supreme Court has ruled that a 6-week abortion ban can take effect. Republican lawmakers passed the restriction last year, but a lower court blocked enforcement of the law. In a statement, President Joe Biden said that the ban puts women's health and lives in jeopardy. Gio?
All right, Whit, and the 4th of July is just days away, of course, and millions of Americans are getting ready for the traditional holiday cookout, but many prices, they are higher than they were this time last year. ABC's Alexis Christoforous is here now with tips on how to save. Good morning, Alexis, help us.
Yeah, okay, Gio. Well, it turns out grilling at home can save you some dough this 4th of July because of those inflationary pressures affecting food prices. Your July 4th grocery bill has gone up by 5% from this time last year, according to an American Farm Bureau Federation estimate. So what does that mean for your holiday cookout plans? Well, for a party of 10, you'll save nearly $50 if you fire up the grill at home. A new Wells Fargo report finds that prepping some of those classic cookout staples at home, including burgers, is still 3 times cheaper than dining out. And while it costs nearly $7 to buy those same burgers at a fast food restaurant, you can make them for just $2.16 at home with all the typical burger fixings included. And what's a barbecue without sides, right? Opt for homemade potato salad over chips, since the cost of white potatoes is down about 4.5%, while potato chip prices are up nearly 3% compared to a year ago. Now, to wash it all down, you're going to want to brew your own batch of iced tea, since bottled iced tea prices are up nearly 2.5%. Other ways to save on your July 4th cookout: check those coupon apps before heading to the store. Cut your own fruits and vegetables instead of paying more for those pre-cut, and opt for store brand instead of name brand products for extra savings. And do like I do, always go to the store with a list to avoid impulse buying. Janae, I'm talking to you.
Oh, amen. First off, I Instacart, but we had Chef Whit over here showing us how to brew that iced tea. Thank you, Alexis. Now to the Olympic trials. The U.S. women competing overnight for a chance to go for the gold in Paris. ABC's Inez de la Quatara joins us with more. Good morning to you, Inez.
Good morning, Janae. And after having to bow out of the Tokyo Olympics in 2021, Simone Biles is back on the mat, and she showed last night she hasn't lost a beat.
Overnight, Simone Biles back in the spotlight, dominating day one of the U.S. Gymnastics Olympic trials, leading the pack with an all-around score of 58.9. After a rocky start on the balance beam, the four-time Olympic gold medalist sticking that floor routine, quickly proving why she's the greatest. In gymnastics, 4 other members will be selected for the 5-person Team USA. Jordan Chiles, another favorite, coming up just behind Biles last night. A Queen Bee buzzing floor routine helping to land the Olympic silver medalist a score of 56.4.
So I can't say it's easy, but at the same time, mentally, you still have to think about every, key detail that goes into the vault to make sure, you land properly and all that.
And Minnesota native Suni Lee shining in front of her hometown, making a smooth recovery from a near fall in her beam routine. But some other Olympic hopefuls wounded right at the start. Kayla DiCello and Shilese Jones injured on the vault following Sky Blakey, who pulled herself from the trials Thursday after an Achilles injury. This, as Olympic trials wrap up this weekend, a crucial moment as Olympic teams are finalized, with athletes hoping to catch a break and qualify for Paris. There was also track and field, with rising star Noah Lyles qualifying with a 9.83-second sprint in the 100-meter race. 22-year-old Kate Douglas finishing first in 3 swimming competitions, now officially set to compete in a number of different Paris events.
This is the sport I've chosen to do. It's kind of chosen me.
And this afternoon, it'll be the men's turn to compete. Day 2 for them in gymnastics and another day for track and field. The gymnastics Olympic trials will run through Sunday night, with the Olympics now less than a month away, starting on July 26. Guys.
Can't wait for that. And Janae, you qualified for the Olympics too. Right?
I did. And I didn't have to have too many skills. But yes, I get to go cover a week of it for us here, GMA. I'll be over there. It'll be a lot of fun. We've got the Americans are going to show out, right?
Oh, yeah. I think so. Absolutely. It's going to be a good one.
Especially because you're there.
Yeah. Exactly.